You have to think like a pro as a human being at an earlier age. You have a brand that you're selling that's you. And we look at it in recruiting. It's amazing how many kids in recruiting will put things out there that, quite frankly, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, we didn't know about them. And now we do. And it's a topic of conversation. And to think that we're not going to find it out is just, it's naive. And it's hard for the parents because, it used to be Facebook was real easy, right? Well, Facebook's for old people now. If you're on Facebook, you're old, and Twitter is going that way in a hurry, and well, I'm Snapchatting and you're never going to be able to find it. Well, we outsource our monitoring of our social media and they can find it. And I'm not going to say the team in the league that I did my research with, but they have a social media coordinator. He's Ivy League trained, IT, that has a position coach, basically, monitoring all the top draft picks across the board by their social media history and trends. And what came up to me in the study is this is going to make or break guys in the draft. If all things are equal, one area where you're not equal is your social media behavior. And why? Because you're naive enough to tell them that that's what you're doing. And just because you think I didn't friend you and I blocked you or whatever it may be, we can find your friends. And through your friends, we can find out what you do and who you associate yourself with. And unfortunately, at least at Northwestern, and I don't want to speak for any other college coaches, if I go one step further than normal, I have to ask the position coach or the recruiting coach, why are we recruiting him? I don't quite understand how he fits what we're looking for when there's a red flag here. So you're going to go investigate it, and I want to know what the deal is. And until you can give me that answer, we're not going to progress. And that eliminates a lot of issues on the front. I'd rather have a one-day problem than a 4-year problem. And it makes my life a lot easier from a standpoint of managing 112 17 to 22-year-old young men that aren't the same, but have the same type of vision of wanting to be successful in life.
Media gets talked about a lot, all the time. We have a video in our Visionary Athlete course totally dedicated to social media, and there is a new layer that I wanted to touch on that can affect your recruiting and life in general, whether it's going for a job or whatever. And it's not only, probably that we need to be thinking about what we post, what we're tweeting and doing on Snapchat, Instagram, everything else, all the pictures and the posts that we're putting out. But here's something that I've realized. Not only is it the content that we're pushing out that can make a difference and make an impression for people, but it's also just simply our activity, what we're liking, what we're commenting on, what we're sharing and retweeting and posting. That can have a massive impact in recruiting, but also in life. A kind of an out of left field example that brought this to my attention is The Bachelorette, who won The Bachelorette, took some serious heat in recent weeks because of certain memes and things that he was liking on social media. Did you catch that? He wasn't even posting it. It was just the fact that people saw the things that he liked on Instagram and different things totally affected him, and he was essentially crucified by the media because some of it was pretty offensive to some people. So just remember, it's not only what you personally are putting out that's going to be judged, but I bet you coaches are also going to see what you've reposted or shared or retweeted, and also things that commented or that you've even liked. And you've seen it happen. If you look on a Twitter timeline, for example, it'll say this person liked this post, so it's showing up on your timeline. Well, if that coach is following you and you liked a post and something else pops up that you like that is like super silly or crazy or vulgar or whatever that is, that's going to negatively impact their view, and it ultimately might impact your potential for a scholarship. So just make sure we're being wise, not only on what we're posting, but what we're interacting with. So a quick action item I would encourage you to do is take a look at your history on some of your accounts and see, hey, have I gone through and say, hey, maybe this is funny, but I probably wouldn't want a college coach or grandma or whoever else to see that I liked that. Or, do you have pictures that you've been tagged in or different things that you need to kind of do a little bit of cleaning house for? Because it will come to the light eventually if somebody wants to do a deep dive. It's one of the first things that people look at in a lot of different scenarios, not just college recruiting. Hey, what is this person like? I'm going to check out their social media, and it's going to tell me, kind of give me an impression of them. So go ahead, check those accounts, see what not just you have posted, but things that you have liked and commented and shared, and kind of do some cleaning house. And you don't want something silly to come and bite you later on.
Social media sites like Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter are kind of a big deal, and they're having a big impact on the athletes who use them.
We've seen in some cases where athletes are using Twitter to reach directly to their audiences, bypassing traditional media altogether.
Having access to an unfiltered channel to their fans can be a great thing for athletes, but depending on how they use it, that can also be devastating. Journalist Rachel Blount with the Minneapolis Star-Tribune has seen her share of both examples.
We've seen other cases where athletes maybe have made a misstep with these things. They've said something they shouldn't say, or they've tweeted during a game and upset the coach.
Those potential missteps are one of the topics Blount and two other panelists, sports journalism professor Marie Harden and U.S. Olympian Angela Ruggiero, will cover during the Tucker Center for Research on Girls and Women in Sport Fall Distinguished Lecture Series.
I think it's going to be a great give and take among the three of us because all of us are different.
Specifically with regard to women's sports, Blount and Tucker Center Director Mary Jo Kane say the opportunities to use social media are great.
We know that with respect to amount of coverage, female athletes are significantly underrepresented in the media.
But in social media forums like Twitter, where the majority of users are women, Kane hopes that female athletes will take control of their own image, not only to increase their popularity, but also to improve what is being said when women's sports are discussed, an advantage social media provides because of the control over the message it gives to athletes.
The more that female athletes can emphasize their athletic competence, I think the more that that message is communicated to people, the more female athletes will be taken seriously.
Angela Ruggiero has taken hold of her social media image with tools like her Twitter account, Facebook page, and YouTube channel, all places where she can speak directly with her fans.
You can interact with your fans in so many great ways now because of social media. So I'm wondering, how do you guys use it? Does it help you? Does it get your brand out? Does it get your name out? Does it promote your sport? What are the ways that you guys use social media?
Ruggiero, a graduate student at the University of Minnesota and three-time medal winner for the Team USA Olympic hockey squad, uses social media to banter with her fans about tough practices and gearing up for big games, a social media model that Kane hopes other female athletes will copy.
That this isn't just some whimsical, pretty girl, sexy girl activity in life. And if you're talking about your nail polish rather than the three-point play you were just engaged in when the buzzer went off and you won the Big Ten title, I'd rather have you be doing that.